Rosenberg. He is to be out. I don't give a goddamn what the story is. He went on television. I've already ordered Connolly. We're going after the Chandlers, everyone individually, collectively. Their income tax, they're starting this week. Every one of those sons of bitches.
Something that we can really hang Teddy or the Kennedy clan with. I'm going to want to put that in Colson's hands, and we're going to want to run.
A controversial day in politics. A man arrested trying to bug the offices of the Democratic National Committee in Washington turns out to be an employee of President Richard Nixon's re-election campaign committee. He is one of 5 persons surprised and arrested yesterday inside the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee in Washington. And guess what else he is? A consultant to President Richard Nixon's re-election campaign committee.
The trial started today at the federal courthouse for the 5 burglars caught breaking into the Democratic National Party headquarters.
Stand by for camera.
John Dean, the ex-White House counsel, testified today that President Nixon knew about the Watergate cover-up.
At one point in the conversation, I recall the president telling me to keep a good list of the press people giving us trouble because we'll make life difficult for them after the election.
Dean read through a 245-page statement characterizing a president who was easily outraged over war protesters and political adversaries and outlining a range of offenses including wiretapping of newsmen, a Charles Colson plan to firebomb and burglarize the Brookings Institution, and spying on Senator Kennedy and other Democrats.
The misuse of power is the very essence of tyranny. And consider, if you will, the frightening implications of that for a free society.
The president today accepted the resignation of 3 of his closest aides. Out is H.R. Haldeman, Chief of Staff. Also quitting under fire is John Ehrlichman. Ehrlichman was a key political advisor.
Good morning. The Supreme Court has just ruled on the tapes controversy, and here's Carl Stern, who has that ruling. It is a unanimous decision, Doug, 8-0. Justice Rehnquist took no part in the decision ordering the President of the United States to turn over the tapes. So it's an 8-0 unanimous opinion.
The White House aide told NBC News today that impeachment of the president by the full House of Representatives now is a virtual certainty.
These are, with no serious doubt, the last hours of the 37th presidency of the United States.
This is indeed an historic day, the only time a president has ever resigned from office in our nearly 200 years of history. You see the White House there, and in the White House, in just a few moments now, President Nixon will be appearing before the people, perhaps for the last time, as President of the United States.
15 seconds, Mr. President. Okay, that's 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the 37th time I have spoken to you from this office, where so many decisions have been made that have shaped the history of our nation.
I remember exactly where I was. My father called. The phone rang. My father called and he said, turn on the TV right now. Richard Nixon's going down.
I was at home with friends, and we were watching television at home, and we stayed up. And like everyone else, I'd been glued to the Select and Judiciary Committee hearings night after night, and then finally, it had come to this.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency, effective at noon tomorrow.
But instead of the satisfaction I imagined I feel, I just got angrier and angrier because there was no admission of guilt. There was no apology.
Little did I know that I would one day be part of the team that would try and elicit that apology.
To leave office before my term is completed is abhorrent to every instinct in my body. I have never been a quitter.
And that team would be led by the most unlikely of white knights. A man with no political convictions whatsoever. A man who, as far as I know, had never even voted once in his life. But he was a man who had one big advantage over the rest of us. He understood television.
And now, the host of Crossed Over Australia, Mr. David Frost.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, good evening. And with the eyes of the world focused on the White House, here in Australia,